Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to Eli Talks Football and welcome to another video. Now, for this video, I was thinking instead of me doing like the Chelsea Southampton match preview, obviously the match will be later on today, I decided to give you guys a video of why I'm backing Chelsea fans to do the protest before the game later today. Because some people understand, but there's a few that don't. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down. Now, this video may take long, but I promise you, I'm gonna explain to you why I'm backing the protest and why I believe enough is enough. So I'm going to explain it in more detail. I'm going to start from the beginning, and then and then at the end of the video, I'll let you guys know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. So yeah, if you guys um want to know about this and you don't want to miss any of my videos, keep on subscribing, keep on liking, keep on to the bell notification, and yeah, let's start. So obviously I'm going to start from the beginning. So on May the 30th 2022, which is getting close to 3 years now, in about 2 months, in like 3 months, because today is February the 25th. On May on 30th of May 2022, Todd Boehly came to Chelsea, and the British government improved the 4.25 billion, yeah, that he took over. And then, so on the 25th of May, actually, that's when the British government improved. And then on the 30th of May, which is 5 days later, the deal was complete. The sale was complete, and that means he's the owner of Chelsea Football Club. Ending Roman Abramovich era. Now, the reason why Roman Abramovich left is nothing to do with the fair play and all that stuff. It's because he was sanctioned after the war between Russia and Ukraine. Now, all I'm going to tell you is that European governments didn't think that was the right decision. So that means the British government can be ashamed of themselves because we just wasted it. Now, of course, I don't think Roman Abramovich will come back, but you've wasted it. You've wasted Abramovich's time. European governments think that it should not happen, but you made it happen. So for me, I don't get that. But anyway, so yeah, that's when he started to be the owner of the football club. So during the summer transfer window, here's what happened. Eyeballs were weighed in June 2022, next month, when Petr Cech left Chelsea for the second time. On this occasion, it was from his more understated position as a technical and performance advisor, a role that reminded us of value publicly as a title, but the torment around its exit have continued to long into present. So, not only he left, the fellow directors Ruth Back and Marina Grozina left. Boehly became the chair of the club, replacing Buck as the interim sporting director in what became a much mocked role in the horror show first summer. So obviously, Buck and Maria left because of what happened to Abramovich's sanction of the club, which ended in 19 years. So there we go. So also, since they sacked them, the question was which sporting directors and which other chairman will come to Chelsea. So Todd Boehly decided to hire Clear Lake, Eghbali, Paul Winstanley, Lauren Stewart, Joe Shields, and let me just get another one. So yeah, Paul Winstanley, Lauren Stewart, Glenn Vader, and Joe Shields, Clear Lake, and Eghbali. That's who Todd Boehly hired them. Now, for me, I didn't get why Todd Boehly sacked Petr Cech and Maria, but I do understand because these lot would know Todd Boehly really, really well. But I didn't get that one. So I was like, okay, so you sacked them and you brought in these sports directors. Cool. So in that first season, yeah, Chelsea was signing players, and I'm going to tell you which one they were under Thomas Tuchel. So, we have signed Enzo Fernandez, Wesley Fofana, Makala Mudryk, Mark Cucurella, Raheem Sterling, Koulibaly, Badiashile, Madueke, Malo Gusto, Connie Chukwuemeka, Cassidy, Andre Santos, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Dietrich Fofana, João Felix, Gabriel Zelania, Dennis Zakaria, Conor Gallagher, Amanda Broja, Leva Colwell, Emerson, Ethan Ampadu, Mishi Batshuayi, Solilia, Cassidy, Matt Sawa, and Abu Waham Bawa. Now, some of them have left. Some of them, the only players that didn't leave when they first came in is Conor Gallagher, Broja, and Levi Colwell. The rest of them, they all left. Like, some of them are here, but the players they signed have left as well. Koulibaly, Connie Chukwuemeka, Cassidy, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, João Felix, Dennis Zakaria, Ethan Ampadu, Mishi Batshuayi, and the rest of them, the 28 or under 17s, yeah, they're not in the squad. So that's what they did first. That's what they did. And Thomas Tuchel was in charge still. They were in charge. So that's the players who we signed. So in the pre-season, it was good and then it was bad because we lost against Charlotte on penalties. We beat Wrexham though, and we've got destroyed by Arsenal. But that was pre-season. Even though I was angry of especially the Arsenal game, it was pre-season, so I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. Everyone wins, everyone loses. It's just pre-season. It's just a friendly. Simple as that. So, on the 6th of August, that's when the season started for Chelsea. Because they had to start early because of the World Cup, during Christmas, during the winter period, if you know what I mean. So, on the 6th of August, we faced Everton and won. Cool. We faced Tottenham, drew. That one, I was angry at Anthony Taylor. Yes, we had chances, but Anthony Taylor was just the worst referee ever. I don't want to talk about him, but in this video I have to. There you go. Then we lose against Leeds United. Bad performance. But we bounced back. And we beat Leicester City 2-1. And we were down to 10 men in those games, by the way. Then we lose against Southampton. Then many people are questioning about Thomas Tuchel, saying, oh, he needs to get sacked. But it's early days into the season. Let's just hold on. Then we beat West Ham. In that time, we were lucky. We were very lucky, so fair enough. But we've won that game, so it was too late. Then we lose against Dinamo Zagreb on match day 1. Then things decided to come a little bit, untenable for Thomas Tuchel. But I was still early in the season. And then, after that, the next day, they sacked him. Thomas Tuchel. So I'm going to tell you the real reason why they sacked Thomas Tuchel. The reason why they sacked him is because it was nothing to do on the pitch. It was something to do off the pitch, and because the players had lost respect for him. So, so that's the reason why we sacked him. Now, for me, yeah, I don't get why players lost respect for Thomas Tuchel. He's an elite manager. He's a serial winner. If it was for Tuchel, yeah, we would have never won the Champions League, would have never won the Super Cup, and would have definitely never won the FIFA Club World Cup. And let's not forget, he has gotten us to 6 major finals in a row. 6. In his first season, he beat Jurgen Klopp. Beat Pep Guardiola 3 times. Beat Jose Mourinho. We didn't beat Arteta because of that mistake, and we drew to Old Trafford. Who else am I missing? I think that's it. But only that, he beat Carlo Ancelotti. He beat Diego Simeone. He has beaten all of these big clubs in the world. He's also beaten Zinedine Zidane as well, who is the greatest manager and player for Real Madrid. He has beaten those managers. So didn't get why the players thought, let's sack Thomas Tuchel because we lost respect for him. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. I know that we're starting to drop points, but it's still early days. Let's still give him time. But no, they sacked him. So that's the real reason why they sacked Tuchel, is because of it wasn't the results, it was happened off the pitch, and why the players have lost faith in him. So then, when I saw that announcement, I was angry. I was fuming because I didn't believe that Thomas Tuchel deserved to get sacked. I didn't think so. I know that we've made loss to Leeds United, to Southampton, and Dinamo Zagreb, but we can still bounce back because we lost against Leeds, we beat Leicester. We lost against Southampton, we beat West Ham. So if we would have lost, if we would have lost against Dinamo Zagreb, maybe we could have won the next game after that. But we decided to sack him this early. And I'm going to tell you why these owners are very lucky. Very lucky. We'll get to that in just a minute. So I was like, okay, you sacked Tuchel. I wasn't happy about that one. So, which manager do you bring in? I remember there was Zinedine Zidane available for Chelsea. And I would have had him in a heartbeat. Yeah, I would have had him in a heartbeat. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember who else was there. But, let me just have a quick look at the manager list. So, yeah. Um, I don't know, man. Okay. Um, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. But all I remember is that Zinedine Zidane was available. There was many other managers available. Graham Potter, he's a good manager, but I did question he's going to be taking us to the next level. But he's a good manager. He's a good manager. And that time, yeah, we decided to do what Brighton have done. That's what they came. Because Todd Bowley decided to bring them in and says, let's do what Brighton did. Let's just get rid of their manager. Let's just take some of their players. And that's exactly what happened. And that's the reason why we're in this mess. Because we have bought a Brighton project. We decided it's okay to be signing some young players. That's why we're in this situation. But anyway, Graham Potter left Brighton to come to Chelsea. I wasn't happy about that one. He's a good manager. Let's see how he does for Chelsea this season. Let's see. So, we're bringing Graham Potter in. His first game was against RB Salzburg. We drew that game. Many people wasn't happy about that one. Even at myself. But that's his first game. Let's see what happens next. And then, we went on a good run of form. We faced We beat Palace away 2-1. We beat Milan 3-0 at home. You know, we beat Wolves 3-0 at home as well. We went away to Milan, difficult place to go to in San Siro, and beat them 2-0. Then we went away to Villa Park, beat them 2-0. Then we faced Brentford. It was a 0-0 game. You know, of course, we had chances to score. Then we faced Man United, a draw at Stamford Bridge. Obviously, we always do that. And then we beat Salzburg 2-1 on my birthday. So we went on a good run of form. And in those games, yeah, we kept 5 clean sheets in a row. 5 clean sheets in a row. From Milan to Brentford. 5 clean sheets in a row. So things are starting off getting a good start under Graham Potter. It really has been. And then what we all thought that it will continue didn't happen, because after my birthday, 22nd birthday, we faced Brighton. Yeah, Graham Potter's returned to that club, and many Brighton fans were booing Graham Potter and Mark Cucurella, because that's who he signed as well. Many people were booing him, and I do get that. So what happened in that game? We lost to them 4-1. That was Graham Potter's first defeat, for Chelsea as a Chelsea manager. First defeat. It was 4-1. Trevor Chalobah started that game, and for the first time, he lost. Because whenever Trevor Chalobah starts, we don't lose that game. So this was his first loss, because I remember I watched that game. So 4-1, angry with that performance, frustrating, but I still say, give Graham Potter time, because this is his first loss as a Chelsea manager, you know. And then we had to go at home against Dinamo Zagreb, and we got revenge because we beat them 2-1. So we bounced back. So fair play on that one. And then the next game, Arsenal game at home, a game where we all thought that it's going to be a difficult game, but let's hope we can do something. But the players did nothing in that game. We lost to them 1-0. And I remember our best player on that pitch was Thiago Silva. Everyone else was just poor all around. You know. And also, the only reason why I didn't get why Thomas Tuchel was sad is because you signed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and we all know how Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did really well for Thomas Tuchel in Dortmund, scoring lots of goals, won them trophies, all of that stuff. So that's the only reason why I didn't get. Ever since Thomas Tuchel got sacked, Aubameyang has been scoring goals, but not like he usually scores under Thomas Tuchel. So there you go. And of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did that advert, saying, I forgot what he said. It's nothing personal. But then we lost that game. And he didn't have a great performance as well. Kai Havertz, one of the worst players on the pitch when I watched that game, 1-0. There was a chance and he just failed. So there you go. So he lost to Arsenal 1-0. So I was like, okay, I'm still not going to get angry at Graham Potter because there's many more games to go to. And then, what we would have thought we would have bounced back, turn it into disaster. So, after the Arsenal loss, we faced Manchester City in the third round of the FA Cup, and we got knocked out because we lost to them 2-0. And then, after that, Newcastle away, St James Park, lost to them 1-0. And then, at that time, there was a World Cup. So, the Chelsea board told Bollywood Stanley and all that stuff had many opportunities to fix the club. And to tell for Graham Potter as well to fix it as well, because we're starting to lose a couple of games. We're already out of the Carabao Cup. We're losing a couple of games. Let's see if Graham Potter can fix this. During the World Cup. And so when the World Cup was over, or maybe during the World Cup, we faced Villa and we lost to them 1-0. But that was club friendly, by the way. So for me, that one doesn't count. It really doesn't count. That was a club friendly. Yes, we lost to them, but that one really doesn't count because it's a friendly as well. So after the World Cup, we faced Bournemouth at home and we beat them 2-0. So after a couple of bad results, we bounced back in the league. We've won 2-0 against Bournemouth. So fair enough. Fair enough on that one. And then this is where things got really, really worse for Chelsea. So, if you look at Chelsea's fixtures from January 1st, 2023, all the way down into April the 1st, 2023, in all competitions, we had 16 games. 16 games. And if you want to know how many games we've won in that time, in all competitions, oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. So yeah, if you want to know how many wins we got in those 16 games in all competitions, 4 wins. And I'm going to tell you which one it is. 3-1 to Leicester City away in the league. 1-0 to Leeds United at home in the league. Dortmund 2-0 win, the second leg in the Champions League at home. And then Crystal Palace at home in the league 1-0. So out of 16 games, we had 4 wins. And at that time, things became untenable for Graham Potter. And I remember after the Southampton game, where I wanted Graham Potter sacked, because we lost to Southampton. Not only did they do the double over us, but we lost to Southampton at home, a team that will walk bottom, walk bottom in that league, and we lost to them. And funnily enough, today we're home against Southampton, and they're also walk bottom. So if we lose that game, then I believe things will become untenable for Enzo Maresca as well, because we cannot lose to Southampton later today. We just can't. So funnily enough, at that time, I was Graham Potter out, because losing to Southampton at home and to a team, who will walk bottom of the league was unacceptable. Unacceptable. So at that time, I just gave up and says Graham Potter needs to get sacked. Simple as that. Needs to get sacked. But then, these owners have taken way too long. Way too long. Because after that loss against Southampton, we lost 2-0 against Tottenham. First ever time we went to their place and lost to them at home. First ever time. First ever time that this happened. So, Chelsea fans, including myself, was getting more and more angry about why is it taking too long to sack Graham Potter after the wonderful form he had, Then we beat Leeds United, but I still want Graham Potter out. We beat Dortmund, but I was like, you know what? Maybe Graham Potter has given me, a bit of hope to say, let him stay. Because that time, we beat Dortmund 2-0. We went through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And then, the players gave it their all. So I was like, okay, you know what? You beat Dortmund. Let's see if you can win the next game. We beat Leicester City away. Fair enough. So it gave me hope. Then we drew against Everton. So at that time, I was like, okay, I'm still Graham Potter out, but at least you got the international break. So at least you got plenty of time to fix things up. At least you got plenty of time. But then, against Aston Villa at home, we lost to them 2-0 on the 1st of April. And there were many Chelsea fans screaming for Graham Potter to be sacked. Then the next day, that happened. We sacked Graham Potter on the next day after that 2-0 loss against Chelsea. And then there was 2 managers they had in that time. The third manager was Bruno Saltor. He was the interim, for the Liverpool game, which we drew 0-0. And in that time, we should have won that game. We should have won that game. Bruno Saltor had the tactics. He wanted us to win that game. So he did really well. It's just that the players let him down. So I was thinking, okay, Bruno Saltor is doing really well. Even though we don't know him, at least he's doing something. So what I would have done? I will stick Bruno Saltor as an interim from now until the end of the season. But instead of doing that, they sacked him as well for only in a space of 4 days. Only one game. One game. So, what did they do after that? They appoint Lampard, who is our legend anyway, Lampard as a caretaker manager. At that time, I was happy, but I was thinking to myself, do I honestly think that Lampard is going to take us forward? No, because in the Premier League, it's not for him. And when he was the Everton manager, he started off really well, but then form got dropped and he got sacked. He got sacked. So Lampard was our fourth manager at that time. Fourth manager. The caretaker manager, but fourth. So we decided to bring him in instead of taking Bruno Salto for the interim. That's what we did. And then Lampard had 11 games in no competition. 11 games from April the 6th until the 20th of May. He had 11 games in no competition. Guess what happened? We've only had one win in that time. Because in his first game, we lost against Wolves. Then we lost against Real Madrid. Then we lost against Brighton. Then we lost against Madrid again, away from home. Then we lost against Brentford. Then we lost against Arsenal. Then we drew against Forest. Then we lost against City. Then we got battered 4-1 against Man United. Then we drew against Newcastle on the final day of the Premier League season. The only team that I didn't mention was Bournemouth. You know why? It's because we won that game. So out of 11 games in all competition, only one win. And that was against Bournemouth. And you know what? And you know the crazy thing is, as Chelsea fans, that was the best highlight of the season. Because if we didn't beat Bournemouth, I don't think we'll get relegated. But that 40 points would have never, ever happened if we would have not beat Bournemouth. So at that time, we beat Bournemouth 3-1. We got the 40 points. And Chelsea fans were singing, we are staying up, so we are staying up. Even I was singing on that one. We are staying up, so we are staying up. We are staying up, so we are staying up. You know, that was the best highlight of the season. Because we finished 12th on 44 points. So, we were definitely staying up. So, we're definitely not getting relegated. So, it's as simple as that. Simple as that. So, yeah, we were definitely staying up. And that was the best highlight of the season. Because we've seen more bad than good. More bad than good. So, what happened after that? We got rid of Frank Lampard. Got rid of him. Now, in that season, these owners are very, very lucky that they didn't sack Tuchel before the start of the season. Because from August the 6th all the way down into the 7th of September, these owners are lucky because Thomas Tuchel as a manager has 6 games. Out of 18 points, we've got 10. 10 points. Because we beat Everton, we beat Leicester City, and we beat West Ham. And we drew against Tottenham, which we should have won. So that could have been 12 if Anthony Taylor wasn't the referee. So that could have been 12 out of 18. Many people didn't like that. But for me, that's not bad. That's not bad. Of course, losing against Leeds United and Southampton weren't good enough. But 12 points out of 80 is not that bad. We would have started the season really well. So let me tell you something. These owners are lucky. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm looking at the table. Chelsea were in 12th place. 12th place. Palace, Fulham, Brentford and Brighton were above us. Even Newcastle as well. But the likes of Palace, Fulham, Brentford and Brighton were above us. That was the worst season ever. Because we should not be below those teams. We shouldn't. At all. We shouldn't be below those teams. So guess what? We finished 12th. On 44 points. Had it not been for Thomas Tuchel getting those 10 points, guess where Chelsea would have been that season? It's either we could have finished 17th or we would have been relegated. That's what it could have happened. We either could have been finishing in 17th or relegated. If it was for Tuchel getting those 10 points in before he got sacked. So these owners are very lucky, yeah? Very, very lucky that could have been, a worst season ever in my lifetime or in the history of Chelsea Football Club. That 12th place was bad, but if we would have finished in 17th or relegated, worst season ever in this football club. So these owners are very lucky. Very, very lucky indeed that we didn't get relegated. So I was like, okay, cool. We got rid of Lampard. Now, these owners and the sporting directors and the recruitment team have plenty of time to bring in a manager that is better than Graham Potter, Bruno Salto, and Frank Lampard. And I remember there were the likes of Hansi Flick in charge, Jules Nagelsmann in charge, Luis Enrique, and of course there was Pochettino as well at that time. So there was four managers. So Hansi Flick, I wouldn't mind, because he's an elite manager. He knows how to win, and he done that for Bayern Munich. The same goes for Jules Nagelsmann. I don't know why Bayern Munich decided to sack him. I don't know why Bayern decided to sack Jules Nagelsmann, because Bayern at that time were still first place. So I don't know why they sacked him. So he was available, wouldn't mind him. Luis Enrique, I looked at the record that he had for Barcelona, and he's not that bad. So I wouldn't mind him as well. So if people ask me, out of these three managers, who do you want? Hansi Flick. But the other ones I wouldn't mind, because they're also elite. But Hansi Flick would have been my number one. Then Luis Enrique number two. Then Jules Nagelsmann number three. That is it. But out of those three managers, I wouldn't mind. But guess what they've gone and done? Appoint Mauricio Pochettino. A manager who is a bottle job. Yeah? Many people didn't like the fact that I wasn't too happy about this. But he's a bottle job. And I'll tell you why. When he was the Tottenham manager in 2015, which is 10 years ago, Tottenham have faced Chelsea. So he had the chance here of winning a trophy. But did he do that? No, because Chelsea beat them 2-0 in a Carabao Cup final in that time. So that trophy didn't win. Then, 4 years later, Tottenham won the Champions League final, which is crazy, but he did a good job, so fair play to him. Champions League final. So he had another chance of winning a major trophy with Tottenham. But did he do that? No, because Liverpool beat Tottenham in the Champions League final 2-0. That was another trophy gone. There's many times where he bottled things, but when it comes to major trophies, he can't do that. He really can't do that. So there you go. So Tottenham got rid of him next season after that one. Then it was the PSG manager. In his first season, do you want to know what happened? PSG are always a team that wins the league every single season. That was before Mauricio Pochettino came. So guess what happened in his first season as a PSG manager? PSG didn't win the league. Leo did. And you know what's crazy? Leo won the league, yeah, by 1 point ahead of PSG. 1 point. Single point. Leo was first place on 83 points. PSG was second on 82. So 1 point separates both those teams. 1 point. So you know what he did? He bottled that one. He bottled it. In fact, let me see. And I don't think he's won any trophies in that season. But let me just have a quick look. Let me see what I see. Okay, okay, so fair enough. So he won the Coupe de France and he won the Trophy des Champions. Fair enough. But especially League One, PSG always win leagues, but they were in second place. So that time he bottled it, but at least he won a trophy with PSG. Fair enough. Fair enough. But he doesn't win trophies in England. Everywhere else, then fair enough. But guess what happened next season after that one? Where the pandemic was nearly over and then fans were allowed to go back to the stadium. Guess what happened? So, they finished first in League One. So, he got his revenge and won the league, yeah, for PSG. Fair enough. But that was in France. But then, in the Coupe de France, they lost. I mean, they were out of the round of 16. Trophy des Champions, yeah, in 2022, um, sorry, they were the runners up. They were the runners up. And who beat them? Leo. Leo of being Paris Saint-Germain. So they were the runners up in that time. They were the runners up. Because Leo, not only did they win the league, but they've also been Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 in that same season. So Leo have beaten PSG in the Trophy des Champions. Then look at the Champions League as well. They were in second place in those group stages. So their first leg was at that ground. So they faced Real Madrid at that time. So they started off really well. Full time result 1-0 to PSG. It wasn't over, but at least they beat Real Madrid in the first leg. Cool. Then look at the second leg 3 weeks later. PSG were 1-0 up. Of course, the first time they were 1-0 up, Mbappe was offside. So, he was definitely offside, fair enough. The second time, they were 1-0 up, it was definitely a goal, because it was a good goal from Kylian Mbappe for PSG. So, fair enough. 1-0 up at the Bernabeu, 2-0 aggregate, good start. So, all PSG had to do was to score a couple more and then just try and play low block. Like if it was like say like 4-0 aggregate or maybe 3-0, then that's good. Then Real Madrid, maybe they'll make a comeback, but it would be impossible for them to make like the craziest comeback ever. So that's what they need to do. Score a couple more goals and then you're through. But instead of doing that, PSG got knocked out by Real Madrid. You know why? Karim Benzema scored a hat-trick. A hat-trick against PSG. And those goals were enough, yeah, to make Real Madrid go through to the quarter-final. Because it was 3-1 on the night, but Real Madrid won 3-1 aggregate. So PSG bottled that game. Because it was 2-0 to them on aggregate, but then it's 3-2 to Real Madrid. So PSG got knocked out and Real Madrid are through. Who's the manager in that season? Pochettino. So, he can win things for France, but he can also be a ball job. So that's another reason why I didn't like the appointment of Pochettino. So, last season, we appointed Mauricio Pochettino, in June. So I was like, Pochettino, even though I don't think you're the right man for the job, I want you to prove to me, I want you to prove to me wrong. Because many Chelsea fans like the appointment of Pochettino, but I didn't, because he's a bottle job. But I want to be proven wrong. I want you to prove to me, why I believe that you should be the manager for Chelsea Football Club. I want you to prove to me. Best of luck, but I just hope you prove me wrong, because if you prove me right, then there you go. There you go on that one. There you go. Okay, so we appointed Pochettino. So, what do we do in pre-season? We did well. We beat Wrexham 5-0. We beat Brighton 4-3. we drew against Newcastle, and we beat Fulham. And in that time, we played, in that season was the Premier League Series champions. And we was unbeaten. So he won that trophy. Fair enough. I was happy about that one, but I wasn't celebrating too much because it's pre-season. But at least we won the Premier League Summer Series trophy. So there we go. And then we faced Dortmund 1-1. Difficult team, but but at least we were unbeaten in pre-season. So fair enough. Fair enough. And I remember that time we played like a 3-2-4 formation, and we played really good. We played really good. Good style of football, winning games, all of that stuff. So it's like, okay, good. So I'll be saying, that Pochettino in pre-season, fair enough. But can you do this for the rest of the season? Can you still prove me wrong because I still don't trust you? And there you go. So, against Liverpool, we drew 1-1. We drew 1-1. So I was like, okay. That was the first season under Pochettino in the Premier League. We drew 1-1. Let's see how it goes. But then the next game, we lose against West Ham at the London Stadium. They were down to 10 men, and we lost against them. So that was the first lot. So we didn't win that game. Many people wanted Pochettino out, but I'll say, you know what? Just give him time still, because it's still early days. Then we got our first one of the season against Luton Town 3-0. And also, before I forget, in that season, we played one game a week. We didn't play in Europe. So that's why we had one game a week. Because we finished in 12th place in that 23 season. So, yeah, we beat Luton 3-0. Cool. Then we face Wimbledon on August the 30th. Wimbledon. 2-1. And I remember that Wimbledon were 1-0 up that time. 1-0 up. And I'm so glad that game didn't show, online. Because many people would have been laughing at Chelsea for going 1-0 down against Wimbledon. Where I think they were in League 2 by that time or something like that. But we had to have Noni Madueke scoring a penalty in order for us to go through. 2-1. That should have been every game is difficult, but we should have destroyed Wimbledon instead of being like a close game, a close win. So 2-1. But we went through. That's all that matters. But we were lucky, very lucky, in that time. So there we go. Then during September, that was the worst month ever in that season. You want to know why? It's because in September, we didn't score at all in September. Because we lost against Fulham. We lost against Forest. We drew against Bournemouth. We lost against Villa. But if we didn't score against Brighton, this would be the first time that Chelsea hasn't scored in at least a month. But guess what? Nicholas Jackson scored that goal for Chelsea. And that was the only goal of the month. Nicholas Jackson scoring a goal against Brighton when we beat them 1-0. So I was like, okay, Brighton, good team. It should have been at least more than that, but at least we're through. So I was like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough on that one. So yeah, we beat Brighton. That was the only goal of the month. And then, after that, we faced Fulham. Our form started to look a bit better. We faced Fulham, beat them 2-0. We faced Burnley, beat them 4-1. Then, we drew against Arsenal. And we bottled that because we were 2-0 up. 2-0 up. Then we drew that game 2-2. So there we go. But then, we faced Brentford at Stamford Bridge. Once again, lost to them 2-0. So there you go. Blackburn Rovers, who were in the Championship that time, we've only beaten them 2-0. Only 2-0. Should have at least been like 3 or 4 against Blackburn. No disrespect to them, but we've only beaten them 2-0. So there we go. So I was like, okay, cool. And then we had some difficult fixtures. We faced Tottenham 4-1. And Tottenham were down to 9 men, by the way. They were down to 9 men and they had to play a high line. So, but we beat them 4-1. Pochettino came back to White Hart Lane and beat them. So there we go. But then we faced Man City 4-4. Anthony Taylor again being the referee, you know. But that was a great game of football. One of the best games in the Premier League that season, 4-4, you know. So there we go. Then there was the international break. So after that, we faced Newcastle. We lost to them 4-1. Yeah? And we were down to 10 men. Then we faced Brighton, down to 10 men, but at least we won 3-2 in that time. Then look at December. Look at the month of December. Man United lost. Everton lost. Sheffield United win. Okay, cool. Newcastle in the quarter-final. If Kieran Trippier didn't make that mistake at the end, we would have definitely not made it to the semi-final. So we were lucky, yeah? But at least we went through, so fair enough. Fair enough. Then we faced Wolves on Christmas Eve. We lost 2-1 to them. 2-1. But at least we faced Palace and won. And we faced Luton on the final day game of 2023. We beat them 3-2. So I was like, cool. Cool. Fair play. Fair play. Then, if you look at the start of 2024, we faced Preston and we went through 4-0. But look at the first leg of the semi-final. We lost to Middlesbrough 1-0. And at that time, Palmer was playing as a false 9, which I didn't get. I didn't get that one. Palmer playing as a false 9. Why? Why do that? Why? And I remember as well that Levi Cowell was playing as a left back as well, which for me didn't make no sense. No sense whatsoever. So he lost to them 1-0. Then we faced Fulham. Cole Palmer scored the only penalty, and that's won us that game. Don't know why though, but at least we've won, so cool. Then the second leg, we're at home. And I've been saying, Pochettino, you better win this game, otherwise I want you gone. I want you gone. But you know what? We faced Middlesbrough, 6-1 on the night. They scored, but it was 6-1 aggregate. We're through, cool. Then we faced Villa at home, 4th round of the FA Cup. We drew that game 0-0. We drew that game. So I was like, okay, fair enough. Should have won, but at least we're not out. So, okay, cool. But then, the next game after that was Liverpool 4-1. They've beaten us 4-1, and it could have been more. Could have been more than that. That's when things started to turn, yeah? For me, that was strike 2. The first strike was the Middlesbrough loss of 1-0. That was my first strike. The second strike was Liverpool 4-1. Because Caicedo was all by himself in that game. All by himself. And no one helped Caicedo in that midfield. So, Pochettino's tactics didn't work. Didn't work. Yeah? At that time. 4-1. So that was strike 2. But then, the next game, Wolves at home. They never done the double for Chelsea, but this was the first time ever in their history since God knows when they've done the double for us. 4-2. And that time, that was my first strike under Pochettino. Third strike. For me, that was the time I wanted him gone. I wanted him gone because we had our players back. You know, you had Palmer on the pitch. You had Sterling on the pitch. You had Ben Chilwell on the pitch. Malo Gusto. Ben Chilwell, even though I don't rate him, we had our players back. And we performed like that against Wolves, 4-2. Cunha scoring a hat-trick against us. That time, I was saying, strike 3, you're gone. You're finished. Yeah? Leave the football club. Because losing against Wolves, especially at home, wasn't good enough. And those 2 games, yeah, we all scored 3 goals and conceded 8. Our goal difference in those games were -5. -5. And I remember in the Liverpool game where Nkunku scored that goal and he should have come a bit earlier, but he didn't. Didn't trust him. So we lost those games, and that's why I wanted Pochettino out 4-2. But then the club didn't sack him; they allowed him to stay. So I was like, okay, we got Villa. We don't win that game. Surely they got to sack him. Surely, because we cannot bottle, another trophy. We just can't. So there was a replay on that one. So we faced Villa at home. Away. We beat them 3-1. So I was like, okay, cool. But I still want Pochettino sacked at that time. But you know what? Fair play. We're through to the next round. 5th round of the FA Cup. Cool. So we beat Villa 3-1. I remember the goals were Conor Gallagher, the first one. Then Nicholas Jackson got a goal and assist. And then Enzo Fernandez scored a fantastic free kick. I remember that one. So 3-1 Chelsea. We're through to the 5th round. Cool. Then we go away to Palace. That time they were 1-0 up. But we've won that game 3-1. So we nearly end up losing that game. But we've won. Conor Gallagher scored a late winner. And then Enzo Fernandez scored as well to make it 3-1. Cool. I still didn't trust Pochettino at that time. But fair enough. But we beat them 3-1. And then the Man City game. We drew 1-1. The only thing I will say is that I'll blame more on this on the players. For me, what Pochettino I criticize him for is that he changed the formation. We went to a back 4 to a back 5. We brought on Chalobah, and I forgot who we took off that time. But he switched to a back 5. That time we played a low block, allowed Man City to get to start creating chances. And once you score that equalizer, you know what I mean. At that time, we had chances to win, but Pochettino really failed that time because why change it to a back 5? Why play a low block in that time? Why give City a chance? You was this close here to beating Pep Guardiola, but you failed to do so. So at that time, it was 1-1. I still wanted him gone, but there you go. Then, you look at the Carabao Cup final. This was the best opportunity for Pochettino to win his first major trophy in England. Because he didn't do that with Tottenham. He didn't do that with Southampton. This was his first opportunity to win a major trophy in England. But guess what happened? It didn't work. It failed. You know why? At extra time, he decided to bring on attackers, but instead of, allow these attackers to get forward and just make sure that we continue in the second half. At extra time, we look at a completely different team. You know what Pochettino said? Just sit back. Yeah? Just sit back and just do absolutely nothing in the extra time. Liverpool at that time had no Alisson, no Salah, no Jota, no Darwin Núñez. I don't think McAllister was there. Of course, Konate got injured. In the first half, Liverpool were the better team. The second half, we were the better team, and we had chances to win that game. So at that time, I didn't blame Pochettino for making Chelsea miss those chances. But the reason why we bottled that is because at extra time we did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Virgil van Dijk scored a late header. That made Liverpool won the Carabao Cup. And if you look at the lineups in that game, Liverpool's bench, I never heard of. Joe Gomez I've heard of. Tinkeres I've heard of. But Bobby Clark on the bench, never heard of him. James McConnell, never heard of him. Jayden Daniels, never heard of him. Konza, heard of. Adrian, heard of. But Luis Gomez, 67, never heard of him. Trey Nwaneri, never heard of him. There were players that were wearing the 98 shirt, 67, 76, 53. There was these players I don't even know of. Of course, our bench here, The only person I didn't know was Jimmy Tarwin and Billy Gee. But the rest of them I do know. Liverpool had kids on the bench. Some players had to do their GCSEs because they were U11. Some players do that. But you know why Jurgen Klopp but you know the difference between Klopp and Pochettino is because Jurgen Klopp these players, they just gave these young players hope. They say we can still do this because it's still 0-0. I believe we can do this. So go out there, give it out your best. That's why Klopp has the mentality of winning, and that's why he's always an elite manager, because he has won stuff. Yeah, he knows how to win. He knows how to bring that winning mentality. But for Pochettino, completely different. So at that time, we lost in the Carabao Cup final, and this proves to me, and I proved to everyone at that time, why I didn't want Pochettino in the first place. That was the time. That was the time. Many people started to believe me and thought, you know what? Maybe I can understand why Elijah didn't want Pochettino in the first place. So, many Chelsea fans wanted him sacked. But once again, these owners decide not to do that. They decide to give Mauricio Pochettino time. That's what happened. So, we lost to Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. They still gave him time. Then we faced Leeds United. We beat them 3-2. Again, he was still at the job, but we went through to the quarterfinal. Fair enough. We beat them 3-2. Then we faced Brentford. 2-2. Yeah. We faced Newcastle. We just beat them 3-2. Just about. I remember we were 3-1 up, but then Newcastle scored another goal, and we could have ended up blowing it. So there you go. Then we faced Leicester City. It was 2-0 at half time. But then Leicester scored 2 goals to make it 2-2. So we could have ended up blowing that. But thankfully enough, his substitutions worked at that time because Kali Chukwuemeka scored a late winner. And then Madueke scored in the 98th minute. So we could have ended up getting knocked out of the FA Cup, yeah, under Pochettino. But you know what? We didn't. So, I still wanted him sacked. But once again, we cannot trust these owners. But, it is what it is. So, we flew to the semi-final of the FA Cup. Then, look at the next couple of games in the league. Burnley at home, down to 10 men. What happened? Drew. We faced Manchester United. We were 2-0 up at that time. Then, Man United made it 3-2. So we end up blowing it. But Cole Palmer is the reason why he has saved Mauricio Pochettino's job. Because he's been doing that all season. Because if it was for Palmer, yeah, at that time, we would have lost that game. In fact, without Cole Palmer, yeah, Chelsea, would have never, ever finished in 6th place. Never, if it was without Cole Palmer. So I'm going to be talking about who made that signing in just a moment. But yeah, Palmer scored a late goal, made it 4-3. There we go. And then we've not only that, we've won against Man United for the first time since 2017. So 7 years since we last beaten Man United in the league. So both teams were bad, but at least we've won. So cool. Then look at Sheffield United, a team that was rock bottom of the league. Many teams have put 6, 7 or 8 past them and won those games. We didn't do that. We drew that game 2-2. After being 2-0 up at that time, we drew that game 2-2. So we end up blowing that one as well. There you go. So, Everton game, 6-0. Palmer scored 4 goals. Okay, good. But I still didn't believe Pochettino. Then we faced Man City in the semi-finals. And at that time, I said that this is not on the manager. This is on the players. Simple as that. So we got knocked out of the FA Cup. But then, Arsenal game, the worst performance of the season. Got destroyed 5-0. And I remember I was on DL Sports doing the calling show. And I said, yeah, if it wasn't for Petrovic, it could have been 9 or 10 goals. And Kai Havertz doing this celebration. He scored the brace. I believe Ben White scored the brace as well. I think it might have been Gabriel Martinelli that scored another goal. I can't remember. But 5-0 Arsenal. Listen, I expected Chelsea to lose that game, but not losing like the way that we did. Not losing that one. And let's not forget as well, Arsenal 1-0 up in the first half. And we had chances to score. And we failed to do so. Then in the second half, instead of us, making Arsenal feel worried, we made Arsenal, feel better, And I think here that what Arteta did at halftime, he was saying, sit down, shut up, Chelsea are shit, Why are you letting Chelsea, get in a chance in the second half? I mean, chances in the first half. Do better, man. And that's what Arsenal did. Because Arsenal realised that we are shit, Pochettino's a bottle job, let's just go on and destroy them in the second half. And that's what they did. That's what they did. And again, Pochettino was still at the job. Then look at the Aston Villa game. 2-2. Villa were 2-0 up at half time. Again, another reason why us Chelsea fans think that Pochettino weren't at the job. Or should have been at the job, in the first place. So 2-2. But in the second half, Pochettino decided to make changes. And what we did in the second half is what we did all pre-season, which is allow Cucurella to invert, Enzo to be high up the pitch, and score 2 goals. That's all we did. That is all we did. And then we could have made the greatest comeback ever this season. Because I can't remember the last time that we made the mistake, go 2-0 down at half time, make a comeback. So he could have done that. We could have done that. So Conor Gallagher scored the first goal and Madueke scored the second goal. And then I believe he could have been Nicholas Jackson scored a late winner. A late equaliser. A late winner for Chelsea. Disasi, sorry. It was Disasi that scored that late winner. But then, VR decided to do the most stupid thing here and disallow that goal. For me, that was the softest foul you will ever see. Because I believe it might have been Badiashile that, did this or someone else. I can't remember. VR disallowed that goal and we could have won that game. But we were robbed. We were robbed that game. So I still blame Pochettino. But you know what? I give credit to him for the changes at half time. That's all. That's what I give credit to. Him and the VR are the reason why we didn't win that game. Simple as that. So look at this. It took game week 33 for Pochettino to realise that what we did in pre-season is what we did from game week 33 onwards. So guess what? In those times, we beat Tottenham 2-0. We beat West Ham 5-0. We beat Forest 3-2. We was on a good run of form, 7 games, 6 wins, 1 draw. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 6 games, 5 wins, 1 draw. And then Chelsea fans must be thinking, why did it take so long for Pochettino to realise that what we did in pre-season, which is avoiding Cucurella and put either Conor Gallagher or Enzo Howard on the pitch, and have Caicedo playing against each other, why take too long? Why? That's what we've all been thinking. And that's why, and the reason why Pochettino got sacked is not because of the results, it's because of what he said to the owners that they didn't like. That's why they sacked him. So, I was surprised because I would have thought they would stick by him, but I'm happy that they sacked him. But Why did it take way too long for him to get Pochettino to get sacked? Why? Why? And many Chelsea fans have been telling me, oh, you should have stick by Poch. Well, guess what? Yeah? If Pochettino would have stuck to those tactics, at the beginning of the season, let's just say, we win the Carabao Cup and we go into the top four. Then I don't think you'll hear myself or the rest of Chelsea fans all over the world saying Pochettino out. But the reason why I wanted him gone, and the reason why I think it's a good idea to sack him, and I don't know why they took way too late, is because if you look at the table, we were in 6th place. But the reason why in the Conference League this season is because of Man United winning the FA Cup. So at that time, I was disappointed with Manchester City, but it's Pochettino's fault of why we're in the Conference League. But guess what? We were 5 points behind Aston Villa in 4th place. 5 points. So, if we would have won against Villa, if VR didn't disallow that goal, and if we would have been the likes of Sheffield United and Burnley, because we drew those games, we'd have been in 4th place. And many Chelsea fans would be like, you know what? You may not want us a trophy, but at least you got us to the Champions League, so fair enough. Fair enough, but I still want you gone. And maybe this honest would have stick by Poch if we would have finished in the Champions League. So there you go. So that's it. That is it. So we sacked him. Then we looked at the West. Then again, the Sports Directors have made another mistake, because that's the 5th manager, by the way. So they made another mistake. So after Pochettino got sacked, we looked at the manager list. There was Kenny McKenna. There was Robert De Zerbi. There was Enzo Maresca. And there was, who else was there? Thomas Frank. So those were the 4 managers that were on the list. But there was 3 managers available who are elite. Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, and Thomas Tuchel. Those were our former ex-managers. So people ask me, out of those managers, who do you want to bring back? Thomas Tuchel. Even though I don't think that's going to happen, I want to bring Thomas Tuchel back. Because he may not make Chelsea win be title contenders, but he wins trophies. He's done that for Chelsea in his first season. 6 finals, 3 trophies. That is it. I would have had Tuchel back. Or maybe Jose Mourinho, 3rd time's the charm. Maybe. Until Conte, I don't know. I really don't know. He's doing well for Napoli, but I'm not sure if he'll do well for Chelsea. I want to have those managers back. But instead of looking at those managers, they decide to look at those 4 managers. Out of them ones, I don't know which one is good. Because Thomas Frank, I wouldn't have him. Kenny McKenna, he did good for Ipswich Town, but I won't have him. Who else? Kenny McKenna, Thomas Frank, Enzo Maresca. And, Enzo Maresca, no. But, Robert De Zerbi, though. But that was, I thought to myself, you know what? I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind Robert De Zerbi, because I believe, Robert De Zerbi. So, he's the Marseille manager. And if you look at Robert De Zerbi, he is 2nd in the league. Obviously, then Marseille not going to win the league. It's not saying no in the title race, but in 2nd place. So I wouldn't want Robert De Zerbi. He would have been a better choice than Enzo Maresca, Thomas Frank, and Kenny McKenna. But guess what these owners did? They decide to bring in Enzo Maresca, a manager from the Championship. And I did a rant on this on my video. If you go back and watch that one, I did a rant because I think Enzo Maresca wasn't the right choice. And I'll tell you why. Like I said before to you guys, Maresca started the season really well. Like, from August to January, there was 17 points clear, 17 points clear of the top. 17 points clear. But look what happened from January all the way down into all the way down to the final game of the season. Yeah? Leicester, instead of being 17 points clear of top, they were 1 point clear. 1 point clear of the top. So they've won the championship, but only by a single point. And many Leicester fans, yeah, weren't happy about that one. Yeah? Weren't happy. And let me tell you something, yeah. If Ipswich Town, or maybe if Ipswich Town, Leeds United, or Southampton, yeah, didn't were capitalised on Leicester City dropping points, Leicester would have never ever won the championship title. They would have never, yeah, they would have never done that. Leicester City would have either finished in second place or finish, yeah, in automatic places, yeah. If Ipswich Town or Leeds United were to capitalise on Leicester City's downfall. So yeah, so from January, at the start of 2024, they were 70 points clear. But they've only won the championship title by only a point. Just like, Leo did against PSG. So there you go. So, we decided to bring him in for no time reason. And I've been saying to you guys that Enzo and Wesker will do the same thing for Leicester City, for Chelsea, they did for Leicester City. We'll start off season really well, and then we'll drop off. So we bring him and Wesker in. Pre-season wasn't that great. We've drawn against Wrexham. We lost against Celtic. We beat Club America 3-0, fair enough. But we lost against Man City and we lost against Real Madrid. And then we drew against Inter. So only one win in pre-season. I wasn't get too fast, but, that wasn't that great. So, the Man City game, 2-0. First game, Premier League season for Enzo Maresca. Many people wasn't too happy, but I was like, this is Maresca's first game. Let's just calm down. And then we have to play in the playoff because we finished in 7th. So there you go. So yeah, 2-0 to Servette, first leg. And then we face Wolves after that, 6-2. And then Servette, 2-1. Just about got the win, on aggregate 3-2. And then we drew against Palace. We beat Bournemouth. We beat West Ham away. We beat Bow in the third one of the Carabao Cup. We beat Bayern 4-2. We beat Ghent. We drew against Forest. So after the Man City game, we were unbeaten in all competition except for Servette, So yeah, 4-2, Forest 1-1. So it all started from the 22nd of August to the 6th of October. Those games we were unbeaten except for Servette in all competitions, but we managed to go through. And then from October the 20th all the way down into the Arsenal game, we lost against Liverpool, but I wasn't too angry. Then we beat Panathinaikos away. Then we beat Newcastle in the league, but then we lost to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup 1 of 16. And that time, Enzo Maresca made lots and lots of mistakes in that game. Then we faced Man United, we drew 1-1. We faced Noah, 8-0, fair enough. Then we faced Arsenal, drew 1-1. So, that time, sometimes it was good, but sometimes it was terrible as well. So we drew those games. And we won a couple, but we got knocked out against Newcastle. So, okay. I'm still not Maresca out, but after the international break, the final one for 2024, we need to start picking up form. We need to, because our expectation is to win either the FA Cup or the Conference League, and then finish in the top 4. So there we go. So then, in that time, we went on a winning form in all competitions. So 8 games, we won 8 of them in all competition. 5 in the league, and 3 in the Conference League. So 8 wins in a row. Fair enough. Fair enough. 8 wins in a row. Then we drew against Everton. I wasn't too angry, but I was fuming because we had chances to win. But then, we all thought to ourselves, we got Fulham next. If we win that game, then that Everton game is just going to be a blip. But then, what happened for Leicester City is the same thing that happened for Chelsea. Started the season off really well, but then a bit too stubborn. Because the first 16 games, in the Premier League, we've won 10, we've drawn 4, and we lost 2. So, that was a great run of form in the first 16 games. Only 2 losses in 16 games. Wasn't that too bad? But look at the last 10 games. We've only won 2. 2 wins in 10. And those wins were against West Ham and Wolves. Both teams, by the way, who are close to the relegation zone. Those are the only wins we've got. Only wins. Yeah? We made Fulham go to Stamford Bridge and win for the first time in 45 years. 45 years. The Ipswich Town. Yeah? We made them win a Premier League game, at home for the first time since 2002. 23 years ago. Or 22 years ago, I should say. Then, we drew against Palace. We beat Morecambe 5-0. We expect to win that game. But we drew against Bournemouth. We lost against City. And then, Brighton. We lost 2-1 in the FA Cup. That was the worst performance of the season. 2-1. Already out of the FA Cup. And then, we faced Brighton again in the league. And what could have been bad made it worse. 0 shots on target in that game. 0. Then the last game against Villa, we lost 2-1. That game, like I said before, this is on the players, not on the manager. So there we go. So guys, that is how it started from 3 years ago until now. Because today's the 25th of February 2025. So that's how it's broken down. Yes, we had 6 managers in that time. Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter, Bruno Saltor, Frank Lampard, caretaker manager, Pochettino, and Enzo Maresca. 4 of them have been a permanent manager. Only 2 of them were like an interim. 6 managers in 3 years. Guess how many trophies we've won? 0. And I know you guys hate me to say this, but we're becoming like Tottenham now. We're starting to become like Tottenham. Because I'll tell you why. Today is the 17th anniversary since Tottenham last won a major trophy. In those 17 years, they had 24 managers. 24 managers. Guess how many trophies they've won in that time? 0. 0 major trophies. So that's why you can understand why I'm backing Chelsea fans to do the protest today. Because if this continues, if we keep on sacking managers, and end up being trophyless over the next, let's say, like 7 years or so, we'll be like Tottenham. We'll become like them. And I don't want to become like Tottenham. I want to become like Chelsea that wins trophies, that knows how to do it. But these owners don't do that. These owners don't do that. And another thing of why I'm backing Chelsea fans to do the protest. Not only did we did the Brighton project, but we're also part of Strasbourg as well in Ligue 1 in France. Guess what we did? Petrovic, who is our best goalkeeper by the way, who is better than Philip Jorgensen and Robert Sanchez, he's on loan to Strasbourg. Santos, best midfielder, on loan to Strasbourg. Then, we decide to sign the likes of Matisse Almaglu, the 90-year-old, the midfielder. We decide to say, you know what? We're going to let him stay for Chelsea for the next 6 months and then let Strasbourg sign him. What a waste of money that is. So, we are part of Brighton's project and Charles' project, which I didn't get. And another reason is that we spent £1.5 billion and we still yet to sign an elite striker, a world-class goalkeeper, an experienced centre-back, an experienced midfielder. We didn't do any of that. Summer of last year, we had an opportunity to sign the likes of Victor Osimhen. But guess what? These owners took way too long. Way too long. And you can see that Victor Osimhen wasn't happy because he wanted to come to Chelsea. But these owners took way too long about saying, oh, we don't want to do this because of PSR. You still got the money, so spend it on Victor Osimhen. Because he may not be an elite striker, but he's an experienced striker. Experience. I saw a stat that says Victor Osimhen has scored 24 goals in 24 games. Galatasaray are first in the Turkish league as I'm recording this right now. They are first. And is he the top scorer in the Turkish league? Let me just have a look. Where is Victor Osimhen right now? Yeah, look at this. Victor Osimhen has scored 14 goals. Yeah, 14 goals. This in the Turkish league. He's 4 goals away, yeah, from equaling the Istanbul striker. Because he's on 18. So imagine if Victor Osimhen is the top scorer in the Super League. What does that tell you? That tells you that we are the ones that should have signed him instead of letting Galatasaray sign him on loan. We should have done that. You know, we should have done that. But instead that we didn't. And Victor Osimhen is also part of a club, yeah, that is unbeaten. Yeah? Unbeaten. 24 games, 20 wins, 4 draws as of right now. That's what they did. They're unbeaten, and Victor Osimhen is a part of that. I'm not saying that I will be unbeaten, this season in the Premier League, but Victor Osimhen, yeah, if we would have signed him, I don't believe this form would have been this bad, especially the last 10 games this Premier League season. We wouldn't be this bad. So these owners have plenty of time to sign in the striker, but they didn't. Then look at January. The only player that we signed is Matisse and Maglu. Then we decided to loan out Vega. We decided to loan out João Felix for no entire reason. We decided to loan out Connie Chukwuemeka. Who else? Desarcy. And then the only player that we sold was Cassidy. That's basically it. So you know what that tells you? We have no striker. We've only got 1 left back. And we've got 3 midfields. Imagine if he's either Enzo Fernandez or Caicedo gets injured. And God forbid that happens. What does that tell you? We've only got 2 midfielders left. Because Shrewsbury is still in that squad. Yeah? Now, Chalobah is out. We've got 4 defenders. 4 defenders. Or 5 defenders, should I say. Levi Colwill. Tosin. Reece James. And Achpong. So that's 4 now. Yeah, that's 4 now. Because Chalobah is injured. Badiashile is still injured. Fofana is still injured. What happens? Yeah. Let's say if Reece James gets injured, what will happen? That means we've got 3 defenders left. 3 of them. So instead of signing a backup or experienced centre backs, we did nothing. We decided to loan out Vega and all that stuff for no entire reason. So that is it. Why loan out Vega? I know he's still injured, but come on, man. We cannot let Cucurella be our only left back this season. We just can't. Oh yeah, Ben Chilwell on loan for Crystal Palace. Even though I don't rate him, I would have sold him instead of loaned him instead. So why? And then João Felix. Why loan this guy out to AC Milan where you bought him 6 months ago? Another thing I don't get. We sign players in the summer transfer window, then we decide to loan out them 6 months later for no entire reason. I'm not saying that João Felix would have done the role for as a striker. But at least he would press, and he also do much better as a false nine than Christopher Nkunku. It's as simple as that. Because Nkunku is useless in the false nine. And Enzo Maresca has been saying that. He has been saying that. But instead, we started to loan out João Felix for no entire reason. We should have at least given him a chance, man. We should have at least given him a chance. But no. Loaning out for AC Milan is going to be the right idea. And then after that, João Felix is happy that he's at AC Milan. Like, this why I just don't get about this club. When we decide to loan out players, guess what? They're happy the next day. It's a joke. It's a joke. And another thing, if we don't win a trophy, if we don't win that Conference League, and God tell me if that happens, but if we don't win that Conference League, and if we don't make Champions League, 3 years. 3 years without it. 3 years. And I tell you what, if this continues, I know that players are on the death row contracts, but Cole Palmer will be thinking, why am I still here? I deserve Champions League football. I'm one of the best, not world class, but one of the best players. Yeah. Why should I stay for Chelsea, who can't get me to Champions League? Some best players will just leave. They will leave, and I don't blame them. Because who wants to come to Chelsea for this project, for this process, for everything, with no Champions League, no trophy? Who wants to come to Chelsea? Who? And the same goes for managers. Which elite manager wants to come to Chelsea who are in this mess? Tell me who. Tell me. So that's the reason why I'm backing this Chelsea protest. Yeah? Instead of trusting the process, I trust the process. Just to protest more. That's the one I trust. Yeah? Because enough is enough. 3 years potentially with no trophy, no Champions League, not good enough. Yeah? It's either they need to change the model or they leave. Because this cannot continue. Our place is truly good enough to finish top 4. But the reason why I'm telling you guys we're not going to finish top 4 is because we signed a Championship manager. We didn't make any signings. We only didn't sign a striker, goalkeeper, and a midfielder, this season. So, the only reason why we're lucky that we're still in it is because many teams around us, are still inconsistent. The likes of Man City, Forest, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham. They're so inconsistent, just like Chelsea. So we'll still have a chance, even though we've got 2 wins in 10. Of course, that top 5 could potentially get into a Champions League because all these clubs are doing well in Europe. But if we don't get that, let's say that we finish 7th or below that. There are many Chelsea fans who were Maresca sacked, and I do get that. But to me, I cannot let Maresca get sacked and still have the sporting directors still at the club. They need to leave first. And if the new sporting directors want to sack Enzo Maresca, then so be it. I wouldn't be too angry. I wouldn't have complaints. I wouldn't. So that's why to me, today, 6 p.m, before the Southampton game, that's why every Chelsea fan needs to be protesting. I'm hearing that it's going to be about 100 or something like that. But for me, make it 1,000. Make the owners hear what you have to say. Pull out the banner that says, Blue Coat out. Enough is enough. Time for a change. This cannot continue. I want every Chelsea fan to put up the banner, go to Stamford Bridge and protest so that the owners will be hearing, about their frustration. That's what I want Chelsea to do. I don't want to be 100. I want to be more than that. I want to be more than that. Of course, there's not going to be a lot of Chelsea fans that can attend because of work. But the ones that aren't working or haven't got anything to do, go to Stamford Bridge, come in as early as you can, 1,000 of you, pull up the banners, If you want to use like a microphone or something like that, then do it. Make sure the owners hear about this. Because they need to understand why Chelsea fans are frustrated and why we want them gone. Because I would not accept another season with no UCL and no trophy. I would not accept that. I would not. Because we need to sign experienced players. We need to. But all I know is that we're going to keep on signing young players. It's not going to help. Like, if we sign experienced players, then it will allow the young players to know how to defend, how to score goals. You know, that's how you can get the best of the young players. But you've got the youngest one in the Premier League, and that's why I'm telling you guys, yeah, every time we keep signing young players, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And another reason why I want Blue Coat out is because let's say that we do sign Enzo Wesker. Us Chelsea fans, yeah, do we honestly believe, yeah, that that the next manager is going to be better than the previous one? Absolutely not. Yeah, no chance. So that's why I want them gone, because I do not trust these sports directors, yeah, to bring in a better manager than the previous one. I would not expect that. And they made so many mistakes, yeah. This is their third season. And we all know what we say in cricket: strike one, strike two, strike three, you're out. That's why I'm backing this protest, yeah, and that's why I want them out, because I want them to understand why we're so frustrated about what they've done, because it starts from the top. Therefore, in this club, from top to bottom, everything from this Chelsea Football Club just stinks. It absolutely stinks, and it's because of them. It's because of them. That's why I want them gone. I want them gone. So yeah, the summer transfer window, and before I forget, the only good signings that we had was João Felix and Pedro Neto. That was it. And maybe Vega as well. But other than that, just useless. Absolutely useless. You know? It's a joke. It really is a joke. So to me, I want Blue Coat out. I want a new sports director, a new recruitment team, a new medical team. I want, yeah, not only do I want, I want I want everything to just whip it up and start again. I want a better sports directors, yeah, that knows how to win. And another thing, yeah, Chelsea have decided to. Let me just see. I need to get his name out. So yeah, and another thing, Chelsea. The reason why I'm backing this process today, this one more thing, because I know this is a long video. Another reason why I want the owners to be out of this football club is because these owners have decided to sign a rugby player called Willie Issa from Wigan Warriors. And they think that's a good idea because it helped this Chelsea to have that winning mentality. A rugby player, you know. This is football we're talking about, not rugby. If this was a rugby game, then fair enough. But this is football, and football and rugby are two completely different sports. Willie Issa, a rugby player from Wigan Warriors, and I think it's acceptable to sign him so that they can have this winning mentality. Like, I really don't get that. So that's another thing why I want them sacked. Not only because of the managers that they've signed, the players that they signed, but a rugby player. Like, I don't get this, man. So Chelsea fans, whatever you do, make sure there's 1,000 of you out there. Make sure you get there as quickly as you can, and make sure you protest before the game. And if you have to leave early, then fair enough. Don't leave, let's say, at half time. Just let's say that we're winning games, and then let's say you leave in the 80th minute and you still want to continue to protest. Do whatever you can. Just make sure that they hear you loud and clear. And I'm hoping that every single fan, either apologizes and change the model, or they do what Chelsea fans say, and leave, and we get to better one. Because, like I said, if this process continues, we'll be like Tottenham over the next 7 years. If this continues, because we're going to keep sacking managers, bring in another one, sack him, bring in, and they will end up trophyless, just like Tottenham did over the last 17 years. So, Chelsea fans, everyone that's watched this stream, I hope, yeah, you understood why I'm backing the protest and why I want these owners, the sports directors, the recruitment team to leave. You have to understand why I've been saying that. Because we signed a rugby player, we didn't sign any striker, in January, every time we keep sacking managers, things get worse, and we don't sign an experienced one. And every time we buy players, they make individual mistakes. We see that we sell them or loan them out for no entire reason. So that's why I'm back in this protest. If you still don't understand, make sure you watch this video over and over again so that it gets inside your head. Because us Chelsea fans, including myself, had enough of this. The process has failed. The project has failed. Everything this club has failed. And it stinks. And it starts from them. It starts from them, then the manager, then the players. That is how it has been over the last 3 years, or 2.5 years, I should say. That's how it's been. And nothing will change here until they leave, because this is going to continue if they stay. So there you go. That's why I'm back in this protest today. So Chelsea fans, wherever you do, make sure you attend there on time. And I don't want to be, and I hope it's not 100 of you. I want it to be at least like maybe 500 or maybe 1,000 of you. Because Paul Winstanley, Lone Stewart, Joe Steels is fine, but Todd Buddy, Clear Lake and Barley, they need to hear this. I need to understand why they're frustrated. And I hope we're not protesting because of the results and change the model. I hope we're protesting because I want them gone. Because if this doesn't work, then Chelsea fans are an absolute disgrace if this doesn't work. So make sure you put out the banner. So make sure you do the right one. If you want blue call out, if you want to say enough is enough, if you want to say time for a change, then fair enough. But make sure you tell them and tell these owners why you want them gone. Give them a reason and they will understand. And if the owners understand and they walk off, then we did a good job. Because enough is enough. It's time for a change. It's time for a change. This cannot continue. It just can't. It's as simple as that. But yeah, man, listen. I know it's been a long video, but I just wanted to give you lots of information about why I'm protecting, why I'm backing this protest that's happening later today. And if you still don't understand, make sure you watch this video over and over again. But I gave you a lot of information from when did it start until now. And I hope you guys get inside your head. So yeah, man. Obviously, we got Southampton later today, so there will be a live watch along and a match action after that. So make sure you guys tune into that one. And so Chelsea fans, whatever you do, make sure you do it right. So make sure you guys are liking and subscribing, hitting the bell notification as well. And it's been a long video, but I hope it makes sense to you. I really hope so. But yeah, man, take care, goodbye, God bless, and as always, update shows, blue call out, simple as that.